but I hope you're in the right spot. Thank you, Tracy. In the right spot. This is for swap this for that. So again, like I said, we're going to try to be as quick and on the ball as possible to be respectful of your time because we know that summer hours are important and hard to come by. So thank you for being here. For whoever invited you here, there's a reason you're here. You are loved and welcomed here. So thank you for being here. We are 3 or 4 of us that are going to be kind of tackling the comment section, the chat, and then also presenting to you throughout the 30 minutes. So if you have any questions throughout the time, put your question comment in the chat there and we will address it either in that chat or revisit at the very end. We want to make sure that you're going away with a lot of information, that you don't have any burning big questions. And if there are any questions that are left, make sure that you reach out to the person that invited you here and that you'll be able to get those answers for you. First and foremost, my name is Amber. I live in Minnesota now. I'm a wife and mom to 2 little boys. I just had my 5-year oily anniversary with Young Living, which is crazy. Like it happened in a blink. Our beginning reason for getting into Young Living was that my now 7-year-old at the time was 2, and he was an avid climber of all things. And so we really, truly weren't at risk to have any open flames in the home from yummy smelling candles. And so we wanted to switch over to diffusing. So that's how we started initially. We, on the ball. So we decided that we would switch over to diffusing. We got the premium starter bundle, which is what we'll be talking about a lot today. And we got that diffuser and we just diffuse. And that was kind of our beginning introduction to Young Living. And then slowly each month as we customized our monthly order, we added on little bits of new until now it's in every aspect of our home, every corner, like every day. So I just want to make sure that you try not to get overwhelmed. Again, we're going to be throwing a lot of information at you, but just take some notes. If you have some paper with you, take notes. Again, reach out to whoever invited you here because we want you to get comfortable with your oils. All right. Go ahead. If you could advance me, Tracy. Just a real quick overview. We're going to talk about basically like just what's secretly lurking in your home, what things to avoid, the benefits of essential oils, which are many. We love essential oils. We love talking about them. So that's why we're going to try to be keeping our timeline, but we could chat all day for Young Living. How to use those essential oils, the very best, like top 12 that you want to start with. Again, I mentioned that premium starter bundle, which is what we're going to talk about. Everyday uses, getting started, and then your very next steps of how to move along in the process. Most important though, first and foremost, none of us here are doctors or practitioners of medicine. We just are sharing what we personally have learned ourselves, what we've experienced ourselves. So it's kind of, we're just sharing what we've learned. So if you have any big medical decisions, make sure you reach out to your medical provider. So first and foremost, what are we even talking about when we're talking about like those toxins? So the normal home, the typical average home has over 60 different chemicals in them that are just kind of sneaky. They're kind of everywhere. They kind of just lurk around there because a lot of companies nowadays, they do a term called greenwashing. And so greenwashing is a really sneaky way for products to be, they use like fancy terms, they use slogans, they use fancy packaging in order to kind of trick the person into thinking that it's a clean option. So we want to be kind of focusing on what those chemicals are and where they're found. So very typical are air fresheners and candles, like I already mentioned earlier, the cleaners that we're actually cleaning our home with, that we actually kind of might not be cleaning them, but we're introducing more toxins in. Dryer sheets and laundry detergent is a huge one. Hand soap, body soap, makeup. Again, one of the biggest things is your skin is your largest organ. And so everything that you're coming in contact with every single moment of every day is being absorbed into your system. Okay. And so that's also yours, your family, your kids, your pets, like all of that is being absorbed in. And they're very, very harmful. A lot of these products are known to be joined with, like they're associated with allergens, carcinogens, hormone and endocrine disruptors, like really, really bad news. But again, they're sneaky. So we're going to talk to you about how to avoid those. So go ahead. I'm ready for my next one. Thank you. So again, it's a lengthy, long list of different things that we want to avoid. In order to kind of make it more manageable, we've selected just like these 4 or 5 kind of big bullet point ones for you to start with. Again, don't get overwhelmed. We just want to start small and then you can be slowly moving through. So the first and foremost, fragrance. We jokingly say that this is like the real F word because fragrance is everywhere. If you see fragrance, if you see perfume, those are big ticket items that you want to try your very best to avoid. They are known hormone disruptors. They're known for allergies. They're just known to be bad news bears. So try to avoid fragrance. It's in everything. So just try your best. Next one, phthalates. These are found in all of those, like we said, those fake smells. They're in plastics. They're known to disrupt hormones. Triclycol, like triclosan. Those are the antibacterial soaps, which again, we just lived through that pandemic. They're everywhere. This one actually just recently became banned in the US because of the high rise of those antimicrobial like superbugs. So again, like they're not good for us and they're creating more bad for us in our environment as well. Sodium lauryl sulfate, SLS, is a really known one. It's in a lot of soaps, shampoos, again, so those are getting on your skin and absorbing. Those are the ones that are causing a lot of skin irritations, allergies, just no good. Parabens, and ammonia and bleach. Again, very, very harsh, not only for your skin, but for your lungs, your air, you're breathing it in, known to be bad news bears. So those are kind of the main big ticket items of what you should be trying your very, very, very best to start to avoid. So be picking up those labels and starting to look at them. They affect you, like we already kind of mentioned, those hormones when they get into your system. And again, they stack. Like so the more exposure you have, the more that it builds up in your system and just becomes overload. So it takes a little bit of time to get it out of your system and kind of cleanse your system. But hormone imbalance, skin irritation, headaches, allergies, sleep and mood irritants, like, and they upset the whole system. So again, like we said, one simple step that you can make that can help you make that switch is by incorporating these essential oils in. And they're so good and they're so versatile and they've been used for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. They tried, true. There's a ton of research on them and all the things that they're able to do. They are so good. I'm about to hand it off to my friend Allison, but Tracy, can you move us back to that slide just for a quick second? Back to the one that has the specific list. One more, sorry. Yeah, that one. The specific list. If this is a new to you idea that you haven't spent much time or research, take a screenshot of this. Again, that's a really great way for you to kind of start targeting what things are going to make a big impact in your home and making those switches. So those like 5 or 6 things, you can jot it down in your notes of your phone, and then you can have it when you're in the grocery store. You can do a quick check of your ingredients list. All right, maybe give them one more quick second to take their screenshot, and then we're going to hand it over to my friend Allison, who's going to talk more about essential oils for you.
Hi, thanks, Amber. Not going to read this whole screen slide to you, but I'm Allison, homeschool mom of 4 boys, actually men now because they're 14 to 24, um, and all sorts of activities this summer. But about 10 years ago is when everything really hit me with non-toxic and toxic products where we were getting sick the entire winter. We had colds, we had stomach bug, all the things. And I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And when I talked to a friend whose her kids were similar in age and they rarely got sick, she told me about Ningxia Red and Thieves essential oil. So I was like, what have I got to lose? So I did it, and we had the most well winter we had had pretty much ever. So I can easily say that I don't ever want to be without either of them ever again. You can go to the next slide, Tracy. So basically, essential oils, they are the lifeblood of the plant. And if you have the opportunity to go to the farms, Young Living is, you can go to any of their farms or and see from the beginning of the process of the seeds all the way to extracting the oil. They have a seed to seal, which is the no shortcuts, no synthetics ever. So they are the purest oil. And so these essential oils, and they're not all created equal. If you go to Whole Foods or get them off Amazon, they're not going to be the same. They only need to put in a little bit of pure essential oil to call them therapeutic when they could have floral water or other synthetics in them. You can go to the next one. So there are so many benefits of essential oils. These are just a few here. They're more than just there to make your house smell good, to put on the diffuser, but they're great for emotional support. Like I said, I'm a homeschool mom, and so when my second son went to um, a Christian private school for 2 years in high school, that same year, my oldest went to college, and I was an emotional wreck. And a friend of mine told me about Valor essential oil, which Michelle is going to tell you more about. But that was kind of my life-saving oil. A friend said to put it on your ear. And so when her daughter would go to college, she wasn't as much of a puddle. Now, it's not going to take all your sadness away, but it really helped me not to be a complete puddle. So that is something that I use often. I actually used it this past weekend when I was asked to say the blessing over my soon-to-be daughter-in-law at her shower in front of 40 people. It's not my forte of liking to speak in front of tons of people, so I just put it on my hand and breathed in right before I went up there, and it really gives you a calm. I'm sure many of us have valor stories out there. I already told you about the immune support with the thieves. There's also great respiratory support, energy and focus. With homeschooling, I have a few blends that I like to put in the diffuser to help keep my boys as much on track as possible. And just with ditching the toxins and everyday wellness. And I think now it's off to Michelle. Oh no, I guess I'm sorry about that. That's three ways to use essential oils. You can use them aromatically, topically, and internally. Putting in the diffuser, doing the scent tent, that's what we call that, is the aromatic way to do it. Topically, you can just put it on. Not only would I put the Valor on my ears, sometimes I would just slather it everywhere, wrists, arms, wherever. Peppermint to cool off and take care of head tension around here and sometimes the back of my neck. Internally, we have some vitality oils that are labeled with the white label. Same oil, if it's a colored label or white label, but they're marked for internal use. And I'm sure Michelle will tell you about that next.
Hey everybody, my name is Michelle, and I have been with Young Living for about 10 and a half years. I too have a similar story to both Amber and Allison. I was having a lot of trouble with like allergies and asthma to the point that it was out of control. I had tried everything with modern medicine, and it was actually either not helping or making it worse. So then came Young Living into my life, and it has been a total game changer. And it all started with this same premium starter kit that we're sharing with you tonight. So I ditched all the candles in my house, all the plugins, all the air fresheners, and there's no judgment if you're using any of that because I had them all over my house. I love them. So it was a very hard, swap for me initially, but it was one that made a world of difference. Just by diffusing oils and getting rid of the candles, my allergy and asthma symptoms cleared up, I swear, like 90%. And then we realized, oh, wait, the girls haven't been sick in forever. Like, so their health changed as well. And then it just became, one thing after the other. Then we swapped the cleaners and then skincare, and it just kind of went on from there. So it was a, slow, steady process, but it's one that I'm so glad we did, and we haven't looked back. So I'm excited to get to share with you some of the things that have helped us. All right, we'll flip to the next slide. All right, so I'm going to go over some safety tips just for getting started with oils. They are very powerful. So it only takes 1 or 2 drops when you're getting started. If you're going to apply them topically, if you're using them in the diffuser, I always tell people start with maybe 4 drops and go from there because it doesn't need much because they are 100% pure, just oil in the bottle, nothing else. If you're applying them topically for the first time, or if you're using them with littles or pets, always dilute. And when we say dilute, we're talking about using them with a carrier oil. So that's any fatty oil. Some of my favorites are coconut oil, jojoba oil, grapeseed oil. There's many others out there, but those are just some of the top ones that we use in our home. The vitality oils that Allison was talking about, if you're going to use those to add them to your water, you want to make sure you're using glass or stainless steel only. You do not want to put them in plastic because those citrus oils dissolve petrochemicals, which are in your plastics, and you don't want to be drinking that. So just remember glass or stainless steel. Um, there are 2 spots where you should never use oils. And it's probably not where you're thinking, but it's your eyes and your ears. If you do get them in your eyes on accident, though, because I've done that before, don't worry. I mean, it's going to sting and hurt really bad, but you just want to add a carrier oil to it. So that's when I'll grab my coconut oil and slather it on, and it just takes the sting away. Do not use water because remember, oil and water do not mix. Um, so just a little tip. And then, of course, always dilute, heavily dilute if you're using with kids or littles. If you want to, take a screenshot of this chart because I'm not going to read over it, but there is a little chart here that's just a general guideline for using them with babies, toddlers, and kids. So do a quick screenshot of that before we switch to the next slide. And then as far as storing your oils, you want to make sure that you store them in a cool, dark place. I mean, I do have some of mine, like I'm in my room here, they're displayed on a shelf, but they are in dark bottles. They're away from the windows. You don't want them in direct sunlight. All righty, we'll flip to the next one. All right, so we're going to talk about the top 12 essential oils for beginners. And these are the top 12 oils that are going to come in that premium starter kit. They're some of my favorites. If you have these 12 oils, you have an oil to address literally anything and everything, which is why it's the best way to get started. You are set up for great success with this. So I'm going to go in order of how they're listed here. You can also take a screenshot of this because what we're sharing here and like the couple little tips I'm going to give you, this is just the tip of the iceberg. These oils can be used for so many more. Each oil has multiple uses, but these are just some general favorites. So lavender. I like to call this one the Swiss Army knife of oils because literally, if in doubt, grab lavender. It's very versatile. You can use it for anything, but think skin, sleep, relaxation. Those are some of the big things lavender is used for and some of the ways we like to use it in our home. Good for emotional balance. And then the next one is frankincense, another favorite, or really they're all my favorites, but frankincense is another one that I like to use also as kind of like a Swiss Army knife. If I don't have lavender handy and I have frankincense, I will grab frankincense and use it for anything. But it is also very well known for being very grounding. So it's a very like emotionally grounding and supporting oil. It's also very calming and it's amazing for skincare. It has the nickname of Spanx for your face. So it's good for all these little fine lines and wrinkles that we start getting. So keep that one handy for skincare routines. All right, the next one is Peace and Calming. That one is great. I mean, the name kind of says it all, like what it does. It's very calming and relaxing. It's good for restless adults and kids. And it's a favorite to use in the diffuser at nighttime as well, just to kind of help you unwind. If you have littles, it's great to start, their little bedtime routine, and that would be a good oil to put in the diffuser at night for them. All right, next one is Raven. This one is wonderful for all things respiratory. It's think easy breathing. So it's one I will like to apply to my chest, or sometimes I'll put it like around my ears, the back of my neck, but just anywhere to support your respiratory system. You can put it in the diffuser, apply it topically, or you can even make a chest rub with it. So you can add it to coconut oil and make a little rub for just easy grab and go. That's one quick, easy swap, and you don't have to buy the stuff at the store anymore that's loaded with chemicals. Stress away. Okay, this is a favorite of mine. Well, they're all favorites again, but I love this one because it just reminds me of, being on a vacation. It's a very relaxing oils. Name says what it does. It's great for stress relief. emotional support, and it's a good just reset oil. So I like to use this one daily and kind of pair it with a citrus oil. I like the way they smell together. Sometimes I put it with Valor, which we're going to talk about next. And Allison already talked about this one. It's a favorite. I actually have it with me to use for now. It's just a great relaxing, calming oil. I always love to use it before I taught any class just because it helped center me and calm me, got me focused. And it's also known as courage in a bottle. This oil has also been very instrumental for me with feelings of anxiousness. So when I first started using oils back 10.5 years ago, after I addressed some allergy and asthma stuff, this was another one, like kind of the next thing I addressed, and it's amazing. I carry Valor with me all the time. Okay, Panaway, also amazing for anything. Think musculoskeletal system. So your muscles, your joints, your ligaments. It's great for keeping in your gym bag to use on sore muscles after workouts. You can also use this with like a coconut oil or any carrier oil if you need to. Like if you're covering a larger area, like say your whole back or your leg, you can mix it with that and it helps the oil just go a little bit further. All right, we'll flip to the next view. Okay, so these oils here, you're going to see the white label on them. These are your vitality oils. Again, like was mentioned before, they're the same oils as in the colored bottles. So peppermint and vitality and peppermint in the colored bottle, same oil. But the vitality oils are with the white label, and it just makes it a good, easy, quick reference for you to know that this is an oil you can ingest. All right, so we're going to go through some of those. Peppermint, we'll start with that one. It is good for boosting energy. I love this one for head tension. I'll apply it to my temples, the back of my neck. Sometimes I just rub it all over my head if I'm just feeling, a lot of tension there. It's also great for digestion. So it's one I like to use after meals. You can just put a little drop under your tongue. You can rub it on your belly. Um, Anything like that. It's also very cooling. So it's one I like to keep handy for summertime. Sometimes I'll make a little mist with it where we can kind of, spritz ourselves if we're outside in the heat. Or if you're at that stage of life having hot flashes, it's great to put on the back of your neck to kind of cool things off a little bit. Okay, lemon is next. Again, lemon is one that I use daily. I start my day with lemon in my water. Again, glass or stainless steel only, but it's very uplifting. It's very refreshing. I feel like a lot of your citrus oils are very mood boosting as well. At least they are for me. And lemon is great for cleaning. So it's a wonderful stain remover. It's part of my laundry DIY stuff that I make. And it's a natural Goo Gone. So you get stickers off of labels when you buy something. You just put a drop of lemon on it, let it sit for a minute, and it just rubs it right off. All right, thieves. I mean, what thieves is amazing. It's an essential in every household. It's our immune powerhouse oil. It's great for all things health and wellness. And you'll notice with Young Living, if you dig a little deeper, we have a whole thieves line because it's such an amazing product. We have thieves cleaner, thieves, laundry soap, toothpaste, and on and on. But this is an oil that we keep in our diffusers during the winter seasons when lots of, things are going around, when the kids are in school, I'm in school. Thieves is always going just because it's so wonderful for the immune system. All right, the next one is Digize. This one, I will be honest, it's not one of my favorite tasting or smelling oils, but it is one that I will carry with me at all times because it is amazing for all things digestion. So again, that's one I will put a drop under my tongue or rub a little bit of my belly if needed, and it is wonderful for use after meals. If you're bloated, take it when you're traveling, a must have. And last but not least is Citrus Fresh. So this is a blend of citrus oils with a little hint of spearmint in it. And it's really good for just overall like mood boosting. It's very clean, fresh scent. So I like to put a drop of this like on a little cotton round or paper towel and stick it in the garbage cans just for freshening up the diffusers. Or you can put it in your freshening up the garbage cans, but you can put it in a diffuser to freshen up your house as well. All right. We'll go on to the next slide. All right. If you want to not going to go into details too much on this because I feel like we've kind of talked about it a little bit as we went through each slide. So do a quick screenshot or picture of this slide here. It just talks about ways that you can use your essential oils every day. Like I said, I like to put lemon in my water every morning, and that's kind of what I get started my day with. I always fill up my diffusers before I get going, before I even make my coffee. My diffusers are filled, so like we can just start the day fresh. Um, Midday, I'm applying oils throughout the day. Anyone who knows me or works with me, you know that I have my oils with me. They're going to be applied throughout the day, all day long. In the evening, one of the favorite ways you can use your oils is to make an Epsom salt bath with them. Really great detox bath. I recommend people do it at least once a week. And then, of course, using your diffusers at night to whether it's for relaxation, calm down. I like eucalyptus in the diffuser or raven, any of those scents for just easy breathing at night too. And then some quick home swaps at the bottom. The Thieves Household Cleaner is my favorite one. So like next to the oils, that would be the next swap that I recommend because it will literally replace every single cleaner in your home. All right, we'll flip over to the next slide. And you guys, we're just kind of going through this quickly because we're limited on time here and we want to be respectful of your time. But please know, like, get with us if you have questions or the person who referred you, and we can go through this in so much more detail. Like Amber said, we could talk about this all day long. But right now, I want to talk to you about the best way to get started if you haven't gotten started with Young Living yet. And that is this premium starter kit that we've talked about. It includes the 12 oils that we shared with you, and you get a diffuser of your choice. So you can choose between several different diffusers, um, whichever one works best for your household. And then you're going to get extra goodies, which gives you like a little sample of how to make, like how ways you can make those healthy swaps in your home. So you'll get like a little sample of the Ninja Red, which again, another top product that I love. You're going to get a little Thieves spray and a little sample of the cleaner, and then you get roller tops to go with it. In addition, you also get access to all of our online classes and all of our community resources, which is huge. That is probably, and then our amazing community as well. And I have to say, that's probably one of my favorite things about Young Living. I always say that it gave me a community of people and friends that I didn't even know I needed in my life. And they have been instrumental in helping me learn how to use all of my oils, how to support my family best, and we all have fun together. So it's great. And another big bonus, if you get all these oils and your diffuser in a kit, in the premium starter kit, you're getting it at 60% off. So for like the Desert Mist diffuser, that starter kit is $165, which is a steal. Because if you were to buy that diffuser and every oil individually, you're going to be spending over $400. So this is why we like to highlight this kit and just share with you about it because it's wonderful. All right, we'll flip to the next slide. We're wrapping up here, guys. All right, so if you haven't gotten your oils yet and you're ready to get started, contact the person who referred you to this class, and they will give you their referral link and their 10% off code that you can use to get started. When you do get started, you have the option to make your first order your loyalty rewards order. It is optional, but I highly recommend that you do it. I didn't do that when I first got started, and I was like turning around and placing big orders regularly as we were like starting to replace and make swaps. And then I had a friend say, "Well, why aren't you on Essential Rewards?" Oh, that's what it was called then. It's now Loyalty Rewards. I don't know why I wasn't. So I got on it and I have been on Loyalty Rewards. I checked it before I started this class for 10 years this month. So if that tells you anything, this stuff is amazing and we love it and we use all the things. But in addition to making it your loyalty rewards order, the first order, you're going to get 10 points that are like store credit that are on your account that you can turn around and use for more product. You're going to also get the free monthly gift. And when you place your second loyalty rewards order at 50 PV or more, you're going to get another free diffuser. So that adds another diffuser you can use somewhere else in your house, in a kid's room, wherever. And then once you grab your kit, all your future orders are going to be 24% off. So you're going to get that customer rate instead of the retail rate. And reordering is super easy. If you ever have trouble, go back to the person who referred you and helped you get started, and we will gladly help you with whatever you're having trouble with. That's the best part about the community. And another bonus I have to share is that when you do enroll and you get your kit, you also get an affiliate link that you can then share with a friend. and you can earn either cash or store credit from it. So that's another huge bonus that goes along with it. All right, we'll flip to the next one. Again, go back to the person who referred you and they can help you get started. I put Amber, Allison, and I's Instagram handles on there if you would like to follow any of us or if you have questions. And a bonus for this month, there's free shipping. If you are a new member getting your premium starter kit through the rest of the month, you're going to get free shipping that Young Living is covering for you. So huge bonus. Thank you for joining us tonight. I know it's summertime and you have so many other things you could be doing, but we really appreciate that you took the time to be with us. And we hope we were able to just give you a glimpse of what's going on here with this starter kit and why it's so important and why we all love it so much. And if you have any questions, again, go back to the person who referred you, or you can reach out to any one of us and we are happy to help answer any questions that you may have or get you sent to the right person. All right, guys, thank you and have a good night.